Well, the good news is England have qualified for the Euros in pot 1 after tonight's game. The bad news is just about everything else. That was absolutely shambolic and diabolical once again. And I have to sit here and realistically assess our chances of actually achieving anything at these Euros, looking at the performances over the last couple of months and thinking we've just got no chance. It's going to be due to individual brilliance from the likes of Kane, Bellingham, Foden, or a couple of others that may just have moments, because the team cohesion and chemistry on the pitch just isn't there. And what really, really pisses me off is when you have people like Joe Cole at half-time saying how impressed he was with England's performance in the first half, about how patient we were, about how we were waiting for our opportunities. It's North Macedonia. Italy scored 5 against them earlier on this week. We scored 7 against them at Old Trafford earlier on this year. We scored 1 goal, and it was an own goal from a deflection from a corner after narrowly scraping a win against Malta due to a freaking penalty. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I cannot, for the life of me, see England achieving anything at these European Championships while Gareth Southgate is the manager. He doesn't know how to run a football team on the pitch. He is a brilliant man manager. He has made the squad feel like a unit again. But on the pitch, as a collective, the performances will not be enough to win a major championship. It just won't be. We could be our absolute best. All the players going into it, Kane, Bellingham, say Rashford turns his form around, Saka has a good back half of the season. Like I say, Foden, all the defence stays fit. We get Shaw back. Walker's on full fire in all cylinders. We will still not do as well as the likes of France or Spain or Portugal, because they also have individual quality players like we do, but they are better teams. And when it comes to those big matches where you need everything going for you and your team playing at the absolute maximum, we will falter again because we are not good enough tactically on the pitch. And it was evident tonight. It really was. And I thought that with Rice coming back into the team, it would make a difference. It really didn't. It really didn't. He had the chance where he hit the post in the first half, but like I said, we controlled the game. What does that even mean? It just means we had a lot of possession. Doesn't mean we actually created anything genuine. All of our best chances were long shots. Like I say, Rice hit the post. Trent had one tipped over the bar. There were a couple of suspect decisions that went against us that could have led to better chances, but we can't make that excuse. I expect most people coming onto this video waiting for my rant about the referee, and I can have that now. The referee was absolutely god-awful. Firstly, North Macedonia should have had a penalty where Harry Maguire slipped over and then in his infinite wisdom decided to absolutely wipe out the North Macedonia striker. That should have been a penalty and it wasn't given. I don't know why that wasn't given. Then he gives a penalty for Rico Lewis's hand catching the North Macedonia player in the face, and he gives that as a penalty. Both incorrect decisions. Then you have the one where Ollie Watkins is through on goal for that little turn over the shoulder that he gives as a foul. That's never a foul. The referee was hopeless. However, that's not an excuse against North Macedonia. I don't care. It would have to have been the biggest refereeing screw job to ever refereeing screw job for that to be a legitimate excuse to not beat North Macedonia. With the greatest of respect to them, they have some good players that play for some good teams, but, this is England. We've got Champions League winners in the starting lineup. We've got Premier League winners in the starting lineup. We've got the top scorer in Bundesliga coming off the bench and doing things like that. Excuse me. It just really worries me going into this tournament that we're just not there. And we have the best squad of players available to us, arguably ever. And once again, I just think Gareth Southgate's going to be the one that lets us down. I don't see it happening. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if there is a right manager out there at the moment to take over England. But obviously we know that that's never going to happen before the Euros. It may not even happen after the Euros. Southgate may lead us all the way through to the next World Cup as well. I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm going to, because this is England. I want nothing more than England to win a major trophy. And I'm obviously going to go into the Euros with a massive amount of hype and the belief that we're going to go all the way. But just nagging away in the back of my mind, as each game passes, it's just going to be growing and growing and growing that we're not going to win this because Southgate's going to get it wrong. Those are my overall thoughts. Like I say, there's not really much else to talk about tonight. There was no real standout performances. Like, they were going to give man of the match to Rico Lewis, who is the reason we conceded a goal. Now, granted, it may not have been a penalty, but really, you can't give man of the match to someone who's given away the penalty, which ultimately means we've not won the game. I just don't think there were good enough performances tonight. I just think the team is so disjointed. I think, like, let's say, patience is fine. Passing the ball around, waiting for opportunities is good to a point. But if that was Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, with the same players on the pitch, with Foden and Grealish and Rico Lewis and Kyle Walker, like it is for Manchester City, they would have found a way to break that team down. But because this England team doesn't run the same sort of style of play in terms of the amount of movement and the amount of chances created, it didn't happen. So, sorry again. Those are my thoughts. As I say, it's been a rough couple of games to watch over the last few nights, and I really thought we could end this qualification on a high, go into it with a little bit of momentum, but sadly, once again, we've ended this qualification campaign by drawing 1-1 to Ukraine, putting in a good second half performance against Italy, playing awful and basically nearly blowing it against Malta at home, and then drawing to North Macedonia away. If that's the sort of form we're carrying into the Euros, I don't give us much chance of really achieving anything. But we'll see. I hope it's going to go well for us. Hopefully, like I say, we have the likes of Bellingham available and fit for us going into the summer. But we really shouldn't be relying on players like him when we've got so many other quality players available. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. Drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. I will be back tomorrow morning with my last Euros prediction of the season. And I will be back then. I'll see you then.